Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where I want to do some expansion here. I don't want to be clear. I feel like we shouldn't, but we have to. We are required to do expansion right now. But first things first, I want to turn down furniture manufactories, glassworks, and tooling workshops, because we need to deal with this oil shortage. Absolutely. That is a big deal. We need to get that done. So we'll do that for the moment. I also want to go to standardized filing systems for our government administrations. We're wildly overbuilt on the government administrations on telephone switchboards, and because of this revolution, we can't change it. So we're going to do that, but to compensate a bit for that, we're going to bring up our barracks here. I want to bring it all the way to maximum, although maybe not to motorized reconnaissance. Yeah, probably not on that one. But machine gunners, we'll give that a go. And let's see where that puts us financially here. Minus 1.34 million. Running radios shortages. Okay, that would make sense. We should probably switch our electrics industries into radio production. Okay. Tools, oil, glass. That will, I think, as production methods change, that will fix. I've scouted out these guys that I want to declare on. They don't have any allies, for one thing. And they have a fair amount of resources that we need. They have oil, they have coal, they have rubber. So all of that would be very good for us. We're going to work on conquering their state. And I also want to promote this guy up so that he has enough naval support for a naval invasion with this guy. We're going to get you mobilized. Or mobilizing, I should say. Okay. So we have a small arms shortage right now and an artillery shortage right now. We'll see how much that continues. Minus 1.26 million is extensive. No doubt about that. I'm going to bump our military wages up. We're probably going to actually have to settle on a slightly lower setting here. Maybe something kind of like this. It's better. We could possibly raise taxes to compensate. Yeah, we could do that. And I'm going to get at least some arms industries going here. I do see there's a bunch of private constructions in Chubu. I'm going to build currently 11 in Chigoku, because we're clearly going to need more small arms once we actually crank our military up. So we're going to get a couple of those going, but I don't want to overbuild it right now. That'll be okay for the moment. Cool. So these guys here, they're going to be launching the naval invasion of Kalimantan. That'll be fine. We're paying down our debt very, very slowly here. I would like to have that interest to put to other places. Large numbers of Japanese people have begun migrating from our country to Tuscany. Actually, that's kind of a good thing. We've got a lot of unemployment right now, and we need to expand to get more territory to deal with it. So I don't mind a mass emigration right now. That seems okay. Maybe some of these radicals will leave. That would be nice. Landed voting is a big problem for us, and we would really like wealth voting to pass here. 367k individuals per month, and we've had kind of bad luck on this. So we'll see. The mob is approaching. We are going to... Mob pops in the Ryukyu Islands. 5% Civil War progress. How many people actually live in Ryukyu? 2.68 million? Sure, we'll stand down. That'll drop the radicalism at least a little bit. Offset maybe one of these months. Probably not even. It'll be fine-ish. Fine-ish. Nobody has joined in on our diplomatic play thus far. That's good. They're currently fearful of us. You don't say. We can't add any additional war goals. So this is basically, it is what it is, right? That's absolutely fine. We're working on making these arms industries for the moment. I don't think we're going to need more arms industries than that. But we definitely have a bunch of production methods that we want to move to. Everybody's going to declare neutrality here, it looks like. So that looks great. They currently have 5 mobilized. I think their cap was 11, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So that looks great. Russia is offering us a trade agreement. I'm going to accept that. They can export oil. So that would be a good thing for us. 22 weeks on getting these arms industries done. Once those are done, then we're going to gain another like 100K putting into paying down our debt. Unfortunately, our standard of living is going to be tanking due to our taxes, but for now, it is what it is. We need to pay for this. So war has broken out, and now we're going to do a naval invasion out over here, and over we go. Phenomenal. Nobody joined in here. This should be a very, very easy war. Very easy indeed, in theory. Reforms at gunpoint, huh? So this would enable national militia. I'm not going to lie, that would solve a lot of our problems. But I also don't want to. Plus 10% radicalism. I don't like the whole desperate reforms thing. That's not great. This would solve a lot of our current issues, though. Do we go for it? We can always eventually go back onto professional army. We'll acquiesce. It will solve a lot of problems. But I'm not happy about it. So the main thing that does is that brings us down to 5 here, right? So that means that these forces are suddenly a whole lot weaker. It does, however, mean that we can definitely afford to take these up to maximum. I don't think we do that while we're in this war. We'll see what happens with wealth voting here. Advance. Okay. Sure, we'll get more loyalists. That seems fine. We can cut our taxes, for sure, because of that. So for now, that's fine. I really didn't want to enact national militia. That's not great under any circumstances. That significantly reduces our power projection. Like, incredibly significantly. We went from like 14,000 to 1,000. And now the armed forces have resigned from the government over state atheism. Okay. Sure. We really need landed voting to finish up here. That's what we need more than anything. We've unfortunately had bad luck with that. How are we going to do on this landing, though, since we had that happen right then? I don't know. That was really awkward timing. We'll find out. Also, we have quite a bit more unemployment. Yeah, we just don't really have the forces now. We would have to mobilize these guys and also head over here. But yeah, this is about the best we can do right now. We have 100 regular battalions. We could get additional generals from Manchuria and from Oceania. And we could definitely do that. So we could promote you up and promote you up. And then mobilize both of them. And then get them naval invading out over here as well. In theory. Right? This is something we can definitely do. But it's not great. That definitely throws a pretty big wrench in the works. Hopefully wealth voting passes pretty soon here. Because yikes. We are doing okay on our finances now, so that's good. We are able to raise our standard of living back up, and that is causing further radicalism to drop off. So that is a good thing. To be clear, that is definitely a good thing. And we'll see what ends up happening here. We've got 15 days until these guys are prepared. Sure. We got kicked out of here by this 0 power projection. That's very awkward. I blame these guys. I blame the people who put us on this crappy law. To be clear, this is a terrible, terrible law. I really strongly dislike national militia. It's really bad. Mass conscription is fine. Professional army is fine. National militia and peasant levies are hot garbage. They are really, really bad. So there's that. How are we doing over here? 28 offense. Well, that's better. We're going to keep on coming in here. So one day, fighting. Oh, okay. So we actually succeeded in establishing a front here. Beautiful. That is a good sign. That's a very good sign. Now that we've established a front, this is going to be a piece of cake. It's landing that's complicated. So that looks good. No problem there. We can possibly think about another tax cut. I would really like to get wealth voting done. This has gone away now. Okay, cool. That landed voting is going to continue to be an issue until we can get wealth voting through, though. Wealth voting is a stopgap measure, to be clear. So we're pushing through here with sheer force of numbers. That makes sense. We do have additional forces on the way in, but I don't expect this to be an issue from here. So that's okay. We are going to continue to attack out over here, but now that we have a foothold on Borneo, this gets so much easier. So much easier. So that'll be great. They are apparently in default as well. We may be able to consider more tax cuts. Oil is still expensive. Yeah, that's deeply, deeply unsurprising. Let's see. I'm going to resume our construction here for sure. Out of curiosity, what exactly did that pause? What is there 12 weeks in the private construction queue? I guess the UI is just very strange. We got another advance here. Wow. Okay, so technically this is a good roll, right? But we really need to just pass this thing. How much higher can we get our success chance? Universal pop political strength. I think we'll take the 10% success chance. We're up to 71% now. We really need to get that passed. This landed voting is destroying us in radicalism. No doubt about that. So that's a big problem. That's for sure. We're going to finish up this battle. And once we do, we're going to have no issues cruising through here. A lot of this that we did have issues with is because we've recently changed our production methods, right? So we're going to bump these back up to maximum, but we are definitely not in a position to do that until this war really is over. Not this battle, this war. So that'll be fine. They're going to fail their defense. Perfect. And we'll just continue to press through here. And we're getting stronger and stronger, and they're getting weaker and weaker. So this is okay. Okay, this battle is not okay. We had awkward rolls there, I think, at the beginning. It just kept bouncing back and forth, but they are currently winning this one. Sure. Do we want to swap over to squad infantry right now? It will take time. Good substitution does take a while. I think we wait until after the war. I really do. Okay, 10% radicalism from the Northern Territory. Sure. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I really, really don't like this current war production that we're on. It's not great. Who is this? The French Commune? Okay, noted. That's just a rebellion. Nothing too major there then. Cool. Unemployment numbers are going up, but we're definitely going to be working our way through this. So we would like to attack... That's Spain there. Okay. We'd like to attack some of these, like Brunei would probably be a good thing for us to attack next. What is in North Borneo here? Lots of sulfur mines. Some rubber plantations. Gold mines. Yeah, we wouldn't mind that. Are we done losing this battle yet? No. Actually, I'm not sure we're going to lose this battle. Yeah, this is turning around on us. Good. They were doing well. Oh, they just capitulated. Perfect. They were doing well, but they ended up losing that because they ran out of people. Now, there's a revolution for state atheism. I'm not too concerned about this one. That's 18.3k individuals per month. It's not really a big deal. There's this agitator here. We could potentially exile him, but we have a 3-year cooldown on that. So that's not really a thing right now. What we can absolutely do is get to building these oil rigs, and we absolutely want to do that. We're going to get those going. We inherited these government administrations here. We probably want to get rid of that. Not interested in that one. Coal mines, sulfur mines, I just want to max out our resource production here as quickly as we can. So we're going to get all of that building. What do we have for unemployment here? Okay, there is some. And we'll probably have some migration here once this gets incorporated, which we will need to do. I'll want to reset the production methods. There we go. And I'll want to incorporate that state as well. Beautiful. Next up, I want to do the same thing to Brunei. Although we might want to consider like Kutai instead. What do we have going on here? Defensive pact with a couple of these. This is actually a pretty decent defensive pact. Who is Johor? Who are you? Up over here? Sure. That seems reasonably fine, actually. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. So what we're going to do here is we are going to bump our barracks up to squad infantry, siege artillery, motorized reconnaissance, and machine gunners. Then we're going to make sure that we have... Okay, those rubber plantations are good to go. Yep, that all seems fine for the moment. So minus 207k, that seems okay. Automobiles are dealt with. No problem there. And we're building oil rigs, although they're going to take a while. Yeah, minus 79.4% construction efficiency. As expected, that's going to take a while. Do we actually want to build these in South Australia? No, we don't. I don't know why I queued these up. Let's get rid of those. We don't want to pay for that. The rest of this, we do. The rest of this is good. But we don't want to pay for that. So that's okay. I'm strongly considering attacking Kutai here. How are we doing for infamy? 4.7. I think we do it. So if we conquer State Kutai, these guys would all join. I don't think any of that really matters. So we can do that. And there are these two fronts here. So who all then joins that? So we've got these guys here, yes. And we've got... Who are you? Ah, you're out over this way as well. Okay, so those are going to be a little bit more awkward for us. I think we take out Kutai first, and then we go after these two. Would be the idea here. So the idea is we mobilize you and put you advancing front here. And then we mobilize you and put you advancing front here. Mobilize you and mobilize you. And then they are going to be naval invading, but we can't do this until the war actually breaks out. Now, these numbers don't look great. But 1367 conscript battalions is a lot of conscript battalions. We're not going to conscript with them at this moment. But hopefully our numbers are going to look good enough with this move down. We could go to field hospitals as well. I don't think we have a source of opium. So that's not great. Oil is still expensive. Yeah, that's to be expected. We're going to be building these oil rigs for a little bit here. The construction efficiency will improve over time. But for now, this will work. Cool. So we're going to be fighting over here. We're also going to launch a naval invasion of each of these locations. We are going to claim those, but I don't want to do it just yet. No one is currently intervening in this. What are we doing for infamy? 13.5? That's really not bad. Okay, so that sounds good. We're going to let this tick on through. What happens with wealth voting here? We progress to ascent, so that's good. Progress of Civil War -5. This is not really that big of a deal, this Civil War. -10% and -10% interest group political strength. Sounds good. So we'll do that for right now. The armed forces are, of course, upset because we went off of professional military. We didn't really have a choice, to be honest. It just kind of happened. So I would prefer not to, and we'll put it back when we can. But for now, economically, that's probably the right call. Our economy was very military heavy, shall we say. There's no doubt about that. But we need to expand out over this direction, and we need to get... Mostly, we need to get more resources. Our radicalism is a problem, but that's mostly just because of this landed voting. If we can ever get wealth voting passed, that would be amazing. So keeping an eye on this diplomatic play, I think it's far enough. I want to add war goals here to conquer state over here. Apparently, we can't conquer state Johor. Probably because of interests. Let's see here. Oh, we can reset this production method in Tohoku. Right. I don't care about that. And Japanese East Borneo is happening here. So we want to establish an interest out over here then. I forget how to do that. Diplomatic plays, diplomatic actions, regional actions, declare interests. Okay. So Indochina. Cool. We can also declare an interest in South and North China, and we probably should, and maybe in East Siberia as well, while we're at it. Okay, so that all seems good. I don't think that interest will be established before we can grab Johor. That might not be the worst thing, considering we're at 29.9 infamy right now. We'll check right before this is done, but I'm guessing it's not going to be a thing. That usually takes a decent amount of time to establish. So, how long does that take to establish? I forget, but it's a few weeks, like a month maybe, something like that. Yeah, we're beyond it now, so we're not going to be able to take on Johor, but that's okay. We'll get this up over here. And that'll get us some interesting setups to fight Java. As I apparently, knee my desk. That's not painful at all. I definitely recommend it. You should definitely try that. I'm not currently tearing up. That's definitely not happening. So nobody's going to be joining this other than the people who already were, and we don't need to do too many naval invasions here. So we really only need the one naval invasion, although we'll try a second one just to see what happens. So we'll attack over here with Sukanori, and then we'll attack over in Malaya with, that's going to be Yoshifuru. Perfect. So in we go there, no problem, and we should have no issue whatsoever pushing into Katai. It'll be a little bit dicey to get these landings done. We'll see how that goes. But let's get Katai out of the way first. Like I said, this is no problem. 119 defense. That's a lot of defense. But they don't really have the numbers. So we're going to push in over here. No real problem. Beautiful. That is a lot of defense, though. From Army Defense, yes. But I wonder what production methods they're using. I mean, we still probably are swapping our production methods. We're still probably not maxed out here. Yeah, we're definitely not. We're at 42 right now. So that would definitely require some additional work there. We could bring up our military wages, and that's probably not a terrible idea to do. We can do that. That'll boost up our armed forces opinion a little bit. We're a contested government 53 right now. Okay, noted. There was a cyclone in Korea, and 10% devastation or 20% devastation and a famine. 53,000 is a lot, but we'll do it. It's not great. So we're continuing to push through over here. They are definitely substantially weakening, and we are strengthening. So that's looking good. The real question is, how are these naval invasions going to go? Keep in mind our navies are turned down pretty far right now. So there's that. Out of curiosity, what are we at for naval bases? Oh, we can still build a lot of naval bases. Fascinating. I do want to get these 5 barracks built here. I think we're going to leave our naval bases where they're at. I don't feel like we need additional. And I'm not shocked that we're having a hard time landing here. I'm deeply, deeply, deeply unsurprised by that one. I'm actually shocked that we're succeeding in this landing in Malaya. Cool. So I do want to send this guy over to naval invade over here. And then I want to send this guy to naval invade over here as well. We clearly need to send additional forces this direction. So that looks okay. A field promotion. Yeah, that seems okay. And nobody's interested in actually accepting this peace deal, but they'll get there. And we're sending additional forces over here, and we're actually succeeding here. Wow, another advance here. We really need to just succeed this. Like, really badly. One of these days. But man, 400,000 individuals per month. Yikes, we've rolled so badly on this wealth voting, and it feels so weird, because every time we've rolled poorly is an advance. But the advance is hurting us so badly. So badly. Regardless, we're about to win our invasion of Malaya and get ourselves a front there, so that's absolutely great. It's very, very good to get a front. As far as this over here goes, we're definitely going to be able to land here. I think our next couple of waves will probably get that done. We're okay just attacking Malaya with the forces here right now. This is not really a problem. So that seems absolutely great. They're currently negative. They have 75 and 304 reasons to agree to this. Fair enough. We're losing this attack, but it's a barely sort of thing. It's definitely barely. This attack we're winning. So that looks good. We're going to establish ourselves a front here. And that's all we need, is a front. Expand the rubber industry has been completed. That is good. We do need more rubber. Absolutely. We need all the rubber we can get our hands on. But oil is the bigger problem right now. Oil is absolutely the bigger problem. It's 5 weeks away from finishing in East Borneo, so that's solid. We'll get that done soon enough. I don't know if there's any oil or anything over here, but we'll see. We're continuing to attack over this direction. That's all looking good. And over in Indochina, yeah, this is absolutely fine. They would not accept this peace deal yet, but they're very close. Elevators have been unlocked. Cool. So that gives us construction sector max level. But maximum infrastructure from population and infrastructure per 100k population is great. That also unlocks arcades. Are we interested in putting in arcades at this moment? Kutai actually just conceded. Okay. That's noted. So we do need to make sure that we are resetting the production methods over here. And that should still be incorporating. Yeah, that's absolutely fine there. Beautiful. And then out over this direction, well, we should probably queue up our resources. Coal mines. I love it. Oil rigs. Absolutely, yes, please. And of course, sulfur mines in South Australia. We're holding off on that one. Excellent. So we're going to get all of that going. We're getting ourselves resources here. There's an opium shortage. I didn't know we were getting opium. Okay, we shouldn't be consuming opium, so that shouldn't be a thing, realistically. What is consuming opium? Nothing. No, the conscription center. We should not actually have a conscription center active. That must be because we took this over while at war. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so this is all reasonably fine. They have 234 reasons not to do this now. They'll get over that pretty soon. There are 32 reasons here, so yeah, we're at 64%. This is easy. Cool. So that's all looking great. I want to check in on our... I wanted to check in on our power projection here. 2283, yeah. That needs work. Speaking of work... Oh, they actually capitulated. These guys did. They had no reason not to. So that makes sense. We now have 3 units out over here, and these guys are just chilling. Okay. I mean, they're mobilized. We might as well get them heading here. I don't know if they'll get to the front before this war ends. We'll see. 195 reasons still. These guys are very, very keen on not doing this. But sure. This is definitely... very helpful that we're expanding out this way. This is needed. This is very, very needed. And finally, wealth voting goes through. Okay. That was painful. So, shall we go to universal suffrage? No, we're not going to do that yet. That is not a thing that we're going to do at this time. However, I would be very interested in moving us over to mass conscription or professional army. Either one of those would be good. We can't do it right now. So I guess for the moment it's okay. We should probably just let our radicalism tick downward at this moment. Because it's a lot. We have a lot of radicalism, and we need to do conquests. We're conquering relatively small people, so we don't really need militaries at this time, or significant militaries anyway. So that's absolutely okay. We're going to remove some of these unproductive trade routes. Cool. We do, after all, want to be utilizing our own resources where possible. So that'll be fine. We'll get rid of those. Fantastic. And this battle is nearly completed. This should, I think, probably end the war. Actually, they would be okay with it right now. But we can't propose a peace deal. They need to agree to it. Okay. They'll get there. They'll absolutely get there. They'll capitulate any moment now. They have no chance. So that's all looking good. We're going to continue to take over these areas. I would love to attack some other small areas over here. We're back down to reputable. We need to keep our infamy under control, but it should be reasonably fine since we're attacking pretty small areas. So that's good. We're going to continue to advance down over here. And in the meantime, we've got all of these oil rigs being built. And that's really, really good for us, right? We really want to get those oil rigs under control. So that'll be great. Unfortunately, our unemployment is going up. That's to be expected. I'm not shocked about that one. We're constructing at a reasonable rate, though, so all is looking good. I really want this war to be over, though. Okay, they finally capitulated. Fantastic. So we're going to need to get our barracks built here. We're going to need to build any resources that we can here. So oil rigs, absolutely, we build oil rigs, and that's all we can build here. So that's looking good for now. That's under control. We need to, of course, go into our state actions, reset the production method. There we go. And we need to incorporate this thing. Perfect. And with that, it is past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. In next episode, we are going to continue our expansion in the South Pacific. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.